But the last thing we got to talk about, it's a lot more sad, man. We lost the legend. We lost the legend over the weekend, or not even over the weekend, Monday night, man. It was crazy. Kevin Greene, former Steeler, NFL Hall of Famer, passed away. Man, was it 58 years old, man? Very untimely. Still not a lot of details surrounding what happened. But, man, just thinking about him and what he means to not just the Steelers, because I feel like in Pittsburgh, we're a little selfish, right? We're like, yo, that's our guy.
Yeah, because we got him for what, 3 seasons?
We had 3 years. Yeah, he was
badass.
I think it was like 35 sacks in 3 seasons. It was nuts. I'm like, bruh, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like crazy. But, you know, like I said, we always hold him really.
I think he went into the Hall of Fame as a Steeler.
Yeah, he went in as a Steeler. Absolutely. He definitely did. And I remember us as players being like, yo, that's kind of dope that he was only here for 3 years. He played, you know, obviously in other places, had a ton of success, but he wanted to go in as a Steeler. Like, you respect the heck out of that. But, man, just even his impact from an NFL standpoint, man, because for me, I tell people all the time, like, my memories of Kevin Greene aren't as a Steeler, it's more so as a Panther. You know what I mean? I was never the big like Steeler fan growing up anyways. But man, I always would just look at this. I'm like, man, even in his later years, he was still a double-digit sack guy consistently. And then to see how he transitioned into being a coach and the success he had in Green Bay, and you see Clay Matthews and what he was able to do under his tutelage, man, I was always just really really honored by that, you know what I mean? To be able to say, man, I share the same uniform as this guy. Like, he was a Steeler, I was a Steeler, man. And to see just his growth and evolution even after the game, man, to see him, you know, pass away like he did untimely, man, it's crazy. It's very unfortunate. But I just think about, man, my first time I got a chance to meet this dude. I'm in Pittsburgh. I think it's my second year here now, and we're about to play in a game. I'm in warm-ups. So typically, we typically the Steeler legends, they're always around, man, with this facility, charity events, you're always bumping shoulders with guys. So typically, you know, you don't have to get too out of your element to rub shoulders and have conversations. But with Kevin Greene, I had never had a chance to meet him before, right? Big fan of him. I've never had a chance to meet him. And we're warming up for this game, and I see him out there with his gold jacket. And I'm like, yo. I look, I'm like, yo, that's KG right there. And Peasy always give a story. Oh, that's the wild man right there, man. Let me tell you, boy, you know, he get the hair and that. You know how Peasy get when he get his story time. So I'm gassed up. I'm like, yo, God, it's him. It's really him. You know what I mean? Like, that's that guy. As an edge rusher, like, you respect that. Like, you might not love the team he's playing for, but you respect him as an edge rusher, right? So I'm sitting here in the warm-up, so I'm like, bro, I got to get focused. I got this game. But I'm like, dog, I need this picture. No. I need to go shake my hand. I gotta go shake his hand. I gotta get this picture. Funny thing, I'll never forget it, man. And I remember we're going through our warm-ups, we're going through our tackle line, right? And as the linebacker, it's like the big thing. Like, typically it's recorded right before we do that, and then we do hoorah, right? Hoorah, we ride, hoorah, we ride. So everything is happening right there. And I hops out the line. I hop out the line, I walk over to him, shake his hand, like, yo, Mr. Green, man, I just want to tell you, big fan of you, man. Crazy respect. And if it's okay, I swear, this is what I said, if it's okay, can I get a picture? He's like, right now, I'm like, yeah, like, I don't care about this game. I don't care about this warm-up. I need this picture with you. And sure enough, I took the picture with him, man. Like, I think we had a random fan just take the picture because obviously, like, I ain't have my phone on me and stuff like that. But we have people that are on the sideline where there's still a personnel. Some of the fans are allowed to be down there, but literally snap the pic. It's like, yo, send that to me. This is my info.
Got
some
airdrops going.
Like, seriously, man. And then from there, when I didn't play the game, I can't tell you if we won the game or lost the game. I just remember the picture, man. I'm just like, yo.
What was it? Was it because he was in the Hall of Fame jacket, maybe? Have you done that with other players before, other former players?
Like, literally, the only other player I've talked to pre-game was Charles Haley, and that was at the Hall of Fame game. So we already knew going into the game. I'm like, bro, I'm only going to be out here for like 7 plays tops. So it wasn't even that type of vibe. And we know with the Hall of Fame game itself, because you're going to have 5 preseason games, a lot of the starters aren't playing in that anyway. So for me at that time, I wasn't even going to be playing in the game. So I'm like, oh, man, Charles Haley, he's a JMU dude. He literally just got inducted the night before.
Wait, he went to JMU?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yes,
I did not know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for me, I'm like, bro, of course I'm going to get this picture. So it wasn't even that type of vibe. But with Kevin, it was different because I'm like,
you felt like a fan.
Like yeah. Like the fandom hit. I was like, yeah.
And he's been the only one.
Yeah, because literally, like, the only one that I've had in stadium. And obviously, you think about this. For our pre-games, we've had Wiz Khalifa out there. We've had Mac Miller, God bless his soul as well. I mean, we could go down the list of celebrities that are coming. I mean, you think every week.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be a new celebrity. Those guys don't budge. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what's up? All right. And literally, they're right where we want. Like, where they do the terrible towel wave at, that's literally right where linebackers warm up at for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you see them the whole time. And I was like, all right, man, y'all here for me. I ain't here for you. You know what I mean? So it's a different vibe, but I don't know, man. I seen him out there. He had the cowboy boots on too. I'm like, PC said he got the cowboy boots. Here we go. And dude, I like I said, I just don't forget that moment, man. Seeing him, cowboy boots, big burly chest. I'm like, bro, he look like he's still bench pressed. Don't do leg day, but he bench pressed right now. Like, he still got that look. And I remember as soon as I took the picture, I come back, P just looking at me like, all right, I'm gonna let you slide. Like, P, you already knew what it was, man. Don't trip.
That's hilarious. Because you had, whenever you came here, like Paul Amalu was probably like the top guy you looked up to, but he's on your team and everything.
Well, no, and this was the thing. Honestly, for me, when I came here, I was more starstruck for Harrison than Paul Amalu. Like, Paul Amalu was cool because the commercials, but my sister was always the Steelers fan. So she was diehard Paul. Like, even when I played in Buffalo, we played Pittsburgh the year before, I think it was 2013, brought her to the game. She was losing her mind because Troy was on the field. And then the following year we're teammates. So I'm like, it was more so just like, dang, this is cool that a legend in the game, a future Hall of Famer, even like has these conversations and respect for me on day one, not after I've made plays, which is day one. So it was different with Debo though. That scenario is different because like
he's who you looked up to.
This is the guy that I was studying his tape. I studied his tape my first 4 years in Buffalo. Like literally every run play, every pass play, him in coverage, rushing, it didn't matter. So you like it's a different like him and Clay Matthews were the guys that I just like almost obsessed over in Elvis Dumerville.
Okay.
Like those are my three guys, all very similar builds in terms of shorter guys, get off, hand placement, good leverage guys, stuff like that, man, productive players. So those were more for me. But yeah.
Kevin Greene was just the one off though. Just bro, randomly. That's hilarious.
And his fire. Like that's the thing, bro. You watch him play, you saw the fire he had. And then you watch him coach. And I think that was also the carol because who was I watching? I saw you Clay Matthews. And Clay Matthews' best years were under Kevin Greene. Kevin Greene was his position coach.
It's lining up a little bit.
So everything for me was like, dude, all right, I watch this guy because he's being taught by this guy. I know what this guy can do on the field because I've seen him do it for so long. Even when he left for a year, came back and still gave you a 12-piece. Like, so for me, that was always in my mind. So when I got that chance, like when it finally came full circle, I'm like,
yeah, it just made sense. Okay,
yeah, I'm like, I got Debo I'm about to run in this tackle line with. I really ain't trying to do that, no way. I'm like, I got Kevin Greene over here who taught the guy that I was watching in terms of Clay Matthews. I'm already a fan of Kevin Greene. I don't know when I'm gonna see him again. I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah,
right, wrong, or indifferent. So I did it, man.
That's awesome. That's a great story.
I did it, bro.
Yeah, and I looked up some of the highlights the day he passed, and the whole legend with it's like him and Greg Lloyd, that defense.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could see it's just a cool like 90s vibe with them too, and just what the defense meant. Because like he was before my time, so I don't really have like that connection with him as I would maybe some of these guys in the mid 2000s that I grew up with in terms of some of the defensive players with the Steelers. But from everything I've heard, your story, yeah, like great guy on and off the field, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it was definitely unfortunate. The Steelers lost the legend,
man. Absolutely, man. So like I said, man, RIP to young Kevin Greene. Give a moment of silence for him too.